I think you already know that if you want to speak English well, you need to practice. Watching lessons passively won't improve your speaking. But what's the best way to practice? What method will help you become fluent fast? Well, after practicing English for a long time and trying many different methods, I can tell you, the fastest way to become fluent is through deep practice. Unfortunately, most people don't know about deep practice. They use methods that aren't effective, so they improve very slowly. So let me explain how to do it. If you use this method, your spoken English will improve so fast and people will notice the difference. So the concept of deep practice is really simple. It only has 2 steps. Step 1. Challenge yourself by speaking spontaneously. Let me tell you about the biggest mistake I made. When I began to improve my speaking, I practiced by imitating native speakers. I would pick a video and repeat after the speaker word for word. At that point, my spoken English wasn't very good, so something easy like imitation practice was the perfect exercise for me. The problem was, I only did that simple exercise and never practiced anything challenging. I never spoke spontaneously, never tried to express something in my own words. Because of that, my progress began to slow down. It didn't feel like I was improving much anymore. And that made perfect sense because I wasn't challenging myself. All I did was repeat sentences spoken by someone else. That practice was difficult at first, but now it had become easy for me, and that's why I stopped improving. Once I realized my mistake, I changed the way I practice. Instead of repeating after native speakers word for word, I began to improvise. I would change a few words or expand on the idea with my own thoughts, trying to speak more spontaneously. After I made my practice more challenging, my speaking started to improve once again. Here's the lesson for my story. To become fluent, you need some challenge in your practice. If you only do basic exercises like sentence repetition or reading text aloud, you won't get very far. Remember, in real conversations, you can't copy sentences from someone else. You need to find the words and form sentences on your own. That's why you need to practice speaking spontaneously. You can do that pretty easily with an AI chatbot like ChatGPT or Gemini. Just pick a topic and start chatting. It's one of the easiest ways to practice conversations. When you speak spontaneously, you'll make mistakes and say confusing things all the time. The practice will feel uncomfortable. This is perfectly normal. I went through the same thing myself. It's what you have to go through before reaching fluency. So if you struggle during practice, that's actually a good sign. It means you're on the right track. Now, you might be wondering, okay, if I challenge myself, if I speak spontaneously, will I become fluent fast? Unfortunately, the answer is no. Speaking spontaneously is just the first step of deep practice. To become fluent quickly, you need to go one step further. Step 2. Use feedback to improve faster. How long do you think it takes to become fluent? Most people would say more than a year, and they're right. Fluency doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow, gradual process. But what if you don't want to wait that long? Is it possible to improve quickly? Is there a shortcut you can take? The answer is yes. The key is to practice with feedback, and you don't need an English teacher for that. An AI chatbot is all you need. Feedback helps you learn new words and fix your mistakes quickly. Without feedback, improvement will be very slow. Think about people who speak English regularly but stay at the same level for years. Why? It's because they're not getting any feedback. So they keep using the same words and making the same mistakes. Practicing with feedback is simple. You speak English, get feedback from the chatbot, and use it to improve something specific. For example, if you want to improve your grammar, you can use the reword technique. Basically, you tell a story or express an idea, and then ask the chatbot to reword it using proper grammar. Let me show you how to do it, and to prove that anyone can use this technique, I'll speak broken English on purpose. Hello, I will tell you my story. Please fix my English.
Of course, just go ahead and share your story and I'll help you with any corrections along the way.
So yesterday I go to park. It rained, but I don't have umbrella. So I run to home fast and I am wet.
All right, let's polish that up a bit. You can say, so yesterday I went to the park. It rained, but I didn't have an umbrella, so I ran home quickly and got wet. Great job.
So can you repeat that one sentence at a time? I want to practice.
Of course, let's do it step by step. The first sentence is, yesterday I went to the park.
Yesterday I went to the park.
Great job. The next sentence is, it rained, but I didn't have an umbrella.
It rained, but I didn't have an umbrella.
Perfect. The next part is, so I ran home quickly and got wet.
So I ran home quickly and got wet. Okay, yesterday I went to the park. It rained, but I didn't have an umbrella. As you can see, the reword technique is powerful because you learn by example rather than through explanation. Instead of asking the chatbot to explain your mistakes, you just mimic it directly. It's a more natural way to learn grammar. But what if you want to improve your vocabulary? How should you practice that? Well, you can use what I call the echo technique. Here's how it works. When you're talking with a chatbot, pay attention to the phrases it's using and try to use those phrases in your responses. Let's see that in action. Hi, I want to chat with you about stress. So I feel really stressed and I want to know what should I do.
Hi, it's totally okay to feel stressed sometimes. One thing you can try is
I agree. I think it's okay to feel stressed sometimes.
absolutely. It's a natural part of life. And the important thing is to
I agree with you. Stress is a natural part of life, so it's okay to feel stressed sometimes. So what should I do?
one helpful approach is to find small activities that help you relax, like taking a walk.
As you can see, this is a great technique to expand your vocabulary. Notice how I interrupted the chatbot in the demo. That was intentional. Chatbots sometimes give responses that are way too long. They keep talking on and on. Interrupting them can prevent information overload. Plus, you'll spend less time listening and more time talking. Now, let's go over everything we've learned in this video. To improve your spoken English fast, you need to engage in deep practice, which has two steps. First, challenge yourself by speaking spontaneously. Don't rely on passive learning or simple exercises alone. Think and speak in your own words. Second, use feedback to speed up your progress. Whenever you practice with a chatbot, get feedback and use it to improve something specific. Do this consistently, and you'll become fluent faster than anyone else.